Man, this used to be so amazing back then. Blox Fruits used to be so good, but now it's a shell of its former self, and it's mostly the developer's fault. So I did say about a couple in my comment section that I was probably never gonna go back to Blox Fruits, but I actually wanted to take a look at Blox Fruits before I maybe stop making videos on it. Actually, I probably won't stop making videos on it because I feel like Blox Fruits does have a potential still to make a comeback after they see a huge drop in their player count, because they're now currently at 200,000 player count. Alright, so here we are going to be checking their player count. So right here, when they reach their all-time peak, the highest player count that they've ever reached, which was in the Dragon update, where they had nearly around 2 million players. Actually, they actually also reached pretty high numbers as well back in 2022 even, I believe. But yeah, the biggest number that they've had was in the Dragon update. And now if we go take a look at their recent ones, the last peak that they had was in April 19, when they released the control, not control, when they released a bunch of updates, a bunch of small things, because that's genuinely what it is, small things. And then they reached a player count of 709,000. But ever since then, they've actually dropped. Like, they've really dropped down very quickly. And now they're back to 217,000 players. And if you take a look at this, right, take a look at like their yearly players. Their players in 2023, they were always getting like 500k players. They were averaging 400,000. And now, this is the lowest player count they've had ever since, like, I would say probably 2021. As you guys can see right here, 2022, they've always had higher players than 200,000. They were always averaging 300, 400k. But back here, now in June 5, or June 12, they're now only averaging 200,000 players. This is the lowest player count they've had in several years since 2022. I want to say 2022. And not only that, the biggest content creators as well are now moving to different games. So let's actually go take a look at some of them. Here's NU, now doing Grow a Garden content. Now he's still doing Blox Fruits content, but as you guys can see, his views are no longer as much as they used to. But yeah, now he's starting to mix in Grow a Garden content as well, as usual, as opposed to just doing pure Blox Fruits content. Back then, he was just mainly doing Blox Fruits, but now he's mixing it up with other stuff as well. Even Kit Gaming is now doing that in his recent videos, as you guys can see right here, and he's actually getting tons of decent views on his Grow a Garden vids, and even doing Blue Lock now, actually, as you guys can see right there. Official Newbie hasn't made a Grow a Garden video yet, but I know he probably will very soon. I've seen him in the Discord making vids on that, which is actually pretty interesting. This guy right here, Honeyjima, which was another YouTuber that I was pretty close to back then, is now making Blox Fruits, Grow a Garden videos as well. He's still making Blox Fruits vids, but no longer as often, and the views have dropped pretty significantly for pretty much everything that he is covering. Essentially, what that just means is that Blox Fruits, its content creators, have now fallen off. I think a lot of the biggest content creators in Blox Fruits, myself included, have now moved on to different things. I'm now doing tower defense games on my other channel, AB Plays, and that's genuinely gaining a lot of views, like genuinely gaining decent amount of views. I'm at 53,000 subscribers there. I'm gonna get 100k hopefully by the end of this year in that channel as well. And a lot of people are doing the same thing as well. They're genuinely leaving Blox Fruits behind, and it's the developer's fault, nobody else. It's not the fault of the content creators or the people playing the game. It's the fault of the developers, because they make so much money, right? They make so much money, a ton of money, and the most they can do is update every 3 months. Their last update was in December with the Dragon rework, and then their recent update was in April 19 with the Paw rework, I believe. Was it Paw that they reworked? I don't know which one they reworked. Yeah, they reworked Eagle, they reworked Creation, and then they did Gravity. And you know what? One thing I'm gonna say that right now, they did all of this, and it's probably just for them to have a cash grab. They probably saw that their player count was dropping and was like, oh, we need to update right now to get some players and maybe get some money from this. And they just, did that update. It genuinely was not even a good update. That's why I didn't even bother covering it. Anime tower defense games produce much better updates in much less time and with much less budget than Blox Fruits. I don't care what you say. I personally am making my own game as well, which I will not be revealing here just yet. But I've been making my own game, not tower defense game, my own game on Roblox. And as a beginner, I kind of feel like with the money that they have, they could have done better with the amount of time they're given. So basically, it's their fault. It's none other but their fault because they haven't been doing anything to the game. They haven't been working on the game. They've genuinely just been letting it sit and they're letting it die. Now they actually have competition. It's not even, Relsies hasn't even released yet, right? Grow a Garden is their only competition right now, and it's genuinely taking so much place. And even before Grow a Garden got big, they already had 200,000 players. You want to know what's even crazier? Once they remove all the bots in Blox Fruits, their player count's gonna probably even be halved to only 100,000 players or something like that, which is absolutely crazy. Now, what will happen when RelSeas releases? When RelSeas releases, this game will be left in the dust, and a lot of people are probably going to be playing RelSeas, and yeah, it's probably going to be doing even better than Blox Fruits. Back then, I thought RelSeas was impossible to catch up with Blox Fruits, but now I'm kind of seeing that it definitely is possible. Here's what I'm gonna say. If Blox Fruits keep up with what they're doing right now, within the next year, they're probably going to be a dead game. Like, genuinely, they're probably gonna drop below 100,000 as these other games come out and as these other bigger games come out. Blox Fruits is probably going to drop below 100,000 even with bots because there's not gonna be that much purpose in doing it anymore. I feel like the developers lost their passion for this game a long time ago, and the results of that is now showing. Their player counts are dropping. It's an all-time low ever since 3 years ago. This is their all-time low in 3 years, and if they keep doing it, this game definitely has the potential to die. There's a tons of other games out there that has died. Anime Defenders had 300,000 players at one point, more than what Blox Fruits has right now, and they died after a few months of bad updates, and that could 100% happen to Blox Fruits as well. Even though they were a very big game, it could happen to Blox Fruits. So what can they do to save this? They have to lock in and actually start making decent updates. That's the only way that they can win the players back, because Blox Fruits, it's not really a bad game. It's not as bad as people say it to be. I feel like it's a decent game that if they worked on could actually be a great game and could actually literally still be the top 1 game on Roblox if they just updated consistently, but for some reason they can't. I just hope that this downfall in players that they're seeing right now pushes them to make better updates, not like the one they released a month ago, because that update, in my opinion, genuinely was just an update to crash grab people into buying, the new gravity fruit to make some money off of it, which is just pretty horrid. There really was nothing added in that update apart from cash grab fruits, and that's probably the only reason why they did it. Hopefully, when they see their player counts dropping, it actually, encourages them to make something great and maybe revive Blox Fruits. So I think the future videos I'm gonna make in Blox Fruits is going to be update ideas, where I post my ideas for pretty great updates. So maybe when Blox Fruits sees them, they can implement it into the game. I have been a planner for a bunch of different games, and I feel like if given the opportunity, there's a lot of things that I would like added into Blox Fruits that hopefully by making videos on them can get added, through that. So yeah, it's pretty much it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.